You're listening to the Claret and Big Blue podcast on the Pass the Gravy Podcast Network.
Damn, Daniel.
Who do you think you are? I am. It's Pettis to Jones. Oh, what a catch by Daniel Jones.
Taken away by Wicks. Lantini. Oh, it's glorious.
Play action. Over the middle. Touchdown, Giants.
Give me a hell yeah.
And we are live!
We'll do it live.
Welcome everyone to Claret and Big Blue, probably the only podcast on the internet dedicated to West Ham United and the New York Giants. That's right, football and football balls for everyone's taste. I am Mike Fish and I am joined as always by Mr. Alex J/P Middleton. Alex, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, man. It's a great week this week. How the heck are you doing, Mike?
I am tickety-boo, as we say in England. It's been a
Tiggity boo?
tickety boo.
Tickety boo.
Means you're very
tickety boo, isn't it?
very happy. Very happy indeed.
Tickety boo. I'm gonna start working that in a little bit.
Shit. You look more classy around your friends and family.
Yeah, I could wear one of those flat caps. Oh, tickety boo, boys! Let's go grab a pint at the local pub, mates. That was
Now you
good.
catch- It's almost a year, and you're already picking up the language.
Grab yourself some chips over there, isn't it, bruv?
Well, if you're in a pub, you'd be like crisps. Get some crisps.
Why don't you use bruv more? I feel like you should use bruv more, Mike.
I haven't really used that since I moved to America. I used to be.
Is
You
that
know,
like
bruv?
very that's like dude, right? Like, hey, bro.
Basically, yeah. You right, bruv? How you doing?
What's that, bruv? I like listening. I like when people say that. And then I was listening to some show and somebody was calling it. It was an Arsenal fan. He kept saying, "Look, blood, look, blood," and I was like, he's just calling him blood. Like, that's sick.
Yeah, I've never called anyone blood before. I don't
Maybe
think
we
I
should
have the
start
right.
doing that. Blood.
I don't think I have the right skin tone to pull that off.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, that's more the Caribbean side of London.
Oh, but it's not
Yeah.
like I can't get in trouble for saying it, can I?
No, I don't think we're gonna get cancelled if you start
okay.
using it. But so you're good.
Well,
We're
I don't
good.
know. I don't know what this British slang is. I just repeat what I hear. I'm like a child.
Who are you
Can't
hanging
curse
out
in
with?
front of a child because I'm just listening to things. I just repeat what I hear. I'm like a parrot child.
Have you been using the C word a lot more then since you've been trying to be English?
Well, I mean, I listen to Bill Burr's podcast and I get it from that anyway. So
Is he a big
just
C word
Boston.
user?
Just Boston, you know.
I guess. Yeah, they're basically.
I think the C word's kind of become it's been Americanized a little bit lately.
Have I ever taught you the right way of using the C word?
No, please do.
So if you're friendly with someone and you want to say hello to them, you emphasize the you. So you like
Kunt.
no
Like Conor McGregor would say.
no. You'd be like you just emphasize so just lengthen it out. So you're like you can't.
Oh, okay.
It's friendly. Whereas if you emphasize the T and come in hard like then it's like oh you've upset someone. If someone calls you a cunt.
That's the beauty of the word. I mean, really, like it means it's like fuck. Like fuck means you can use it in so many different instances, and I think the C word now we're getting that way. We're like just the way you pronounce it, like it says a lot. I didn't know that. I think we're all learning today.
This
This
is
is a fun podcast already.
same thing. If you emphasize the you, it's like it means different. Like if you're like, oh fuck, it's normally like something bad's happened, but it's not that serious. Ah fuck. So yeah, we're learning with language. We're learning with language. But yeah, how was your weekend? I know we're gonna get into Sunday's fun day, but how was your weekend otherwise?
Well, this was a rare weekend. I mean, that obviously West Ham and Giants fan, but like Sam Houston Bearcats, that's my college football team. They're undefeated, so they got to win on Saturday. Like I got the trifecta. All three of my favorite teams won on the weekend. It was just like it hasn't happened in a very, very long time. Because even last time the Giants won, the only time they won this season is Hamilton Brent. So it was finally like, dude, everything just went our way this weekend. So I was very happy about that.
And
it's a good weekend. I didn't have a lot of plans, just kind of hung out.
You're not into Formula One, are you? You're not, because I know that was in Texas this past weekend.
In Austin, I know that.
But yeah, I'm big into Formula One. So my Sunday, I mean, no spoilers here, but West Ham won. Then Man United lost 5-0, which I thoroughly enjoyed, which I was laughing my ass off watching that game. And then the Giants won, and then after the Giants game, I watched the Formula One, and my boy Max Verstappen from our Red Bull racing team won. Sunday was like the best day ever. Can't get any better than that.
Is it Hamilton?
Lewis Hamilton
is the best guy. Is he winning this year?
Currently, he is in second place in the championship.
It's like him and Verstappen are 1 and 2.
Him and Verstappen, 1 and 2, yeah. Verstappen is 12 points ahead with 5 races to go. Very tight, very tense.
But like last year, I don't. I listened to Bill Burr's podcast and he watches F1, so I vaguely like understand a little bit about it from there. But like, didn't he win like a shit ton of races? Like he won like almost like every other race for the majority of last season or something. Like Hamilton was on some insane run.
Yeah, this is the first year
he was just winning everything.
This is the first year in a little while that he's actually being contested for the championship because he's been bossing it for several years. So it's quite exciting. And people are yelling at me because I should be cheering on Hamilton because we're both British. I'm like, it's not a national sport.
Right?
Whatever. I don't give a shit if
You're
he's British or not.
Americanized now, and you like Red Bull.
I like Red Bull. I just remember when they first came out, I found it hilarious that you had like Ferrari and all that, these well-known car brands, and then Red Bull came along and tried to compete. And I found it hilarious.
It was like a stunt thing. It was like, hey, they're going to jump off the Eiffel Tower in Vegas and do this crazy ramp and then land on top of Caesar's Palace. And you're like, I'll watch it. But like, yeah, okay. And it's like, yeah, we're using those engines.
We're going to get skydiving from space. Okay, sure, why not?
Are they going to parachute in on the F1 cars each week? Okay. I'm in for that.
Oh, and then as he lands, fireworks shoot off.
That'd be tight.
And then they start the race.
Yeah.
I think more people would watch it if that happened. Should we get into Giants, Noosh? Should we get into Giants, Noosh?
Let's. I'm so excited to talk about the Giants this week.
Because there's just so much to talk about. Obviously,
Damn, Daniel.
Came off this week.
Our king. Again, we are still accepting apologies for the doubters, for the haters, for the non-Dan stands. A lot of you guys out there were very negative towards our king, our sweet prince. And he has clearly proven everybody wrong. He is a franchise quarterback. I saw ESPN on Monday. They were like, has Daniel Jones earned a second contract? And I was like, we've been on this forever. We knew he was our guy. All right? Like, never a doubt. And it's fun to see the haters kind of proved a little bit wrong. Danny's good.
Yeah, pretty much soon now he's actually showing what we said he would. Now you're going to just start seeing again the 3 years ago, should we got a Saquon? Oh, shut up, bitches.
Yeah, get over your 2 takes on Saquon and Danny and move on. If you're not for us, you're against us at this point. And I mean, looking ahead at the schedule, this is a 17-week season. 12-5 is not a bad record, right? 12-5 is not bad. We win out. Very difficult schedule, I'll give you that. Wheezy's excited. Look at her. You can see her hopping up here. Wheezy's jacked about the Giants, and she wants me to play with this thing.
She's also jacked about the Astros because I saw she predicted them to win the World Series this year.
She did, yeah.
So I was very impressed with that.
She got food out of it.
But yeah, Daniel Jones. Oh boy, I love the
Viva la
fact this year he's just like, oh, you need a franchise quarterback? I'll do that. Oh, Saquon's injured. You need a running back? Psh, I'll do that too. Wide receiver? They're all injured. Psh, I'll do that too. He's just doing everything. He don't give a shit.
He is the leading passer on our team. He is the leading rusher on our team. And according to Pro Football Focus website this week, he was the number 1 graded wide receiver on their point system of week 7. So wide receiver, running back, quarterback, guy can do it all. Taysom Hill, they're like, oh, he's a utility guy. I'd say Daniel Jones is the most like talented utility guy because he starts, he plays every down. Guy can do it all.
I bet Graham
He's not concussed. Guy's pretty good.
Graham Gano's getting nervous because Danny's going to take his job too. I can kick it. I'll kick it.
But did you see the motivational video that his kids made him?
I did. What I love.
You do that every week because he looked pretty good.
But did you see his post-match interview where someone told him about the video that he hadn't seen yet? He's like, oh, did you see the video?
I thought he...
No, so he's like, your kids posted a video of them doing like kicking in the backyard, and he's like, all business. Oh, I haven't seen that yet. How's their form? Was it good? It better have been.
Well, yeah, Gano, I mean, like, we haven't had a lot to, like, talk positively about, but, yeah, he was nails on Sunday.
I mean, other than odd one or two, he's been pretty Mr. Consistent. The one consistent thing this season. He's been a god for us this year. Yeah,
I've been pretty happy with him. And that, but, I mean, like, the game, like, the score makes it look like we just dominated. We like, the defense dominated most of the game. But the offense was trash. Like the offense, the first half, because we had I think the first half, every possession we had, except for maybe like that very end one. I don't remember where we had the ball at the end of the half, but where we got we crossed their 50 or across their side of the 50 every single time, and we're not able to get points out of it a bunch of times. There was one time we went for it, didn't get it. I mean.
Once again, in the red zone, and we didn't convert.
I like gambling on that stuff. Like, I think I'm cool living with that. Like, it wasn't like it cost us the game or anything like that. I liked it. Judges being a little bit like, you got to go for it. If you're a 1-5 team at that point, like, you got to be calling plays that are just like, fuck it, dude. We got to win. We got to fuck shit up. Like, that's how you got to play. And they did play that way. And then eventually when Jason Garrett, like, how many times though did you see the 3rd and 6? Let's run a 4-yard stop route. Like, why is that his go-to? I understand screen passes have to be a part of things, but it's like every third play doesn't need to be a screen pass. It was the screen pass is cool, but like that's a very dangerous thing to do just that often, because then everybody's gonna watch film. They're gonna see you're gonna do that. Then when you check down to that, because Jason Garrett only calls like 4 different plays, it's gonna go poorly. Danny was able to opt out of a lot of things. Daniel was able to like do a lot with his legs. He was able to make a lot of things happen and create space for wide receivers when the offensive line they were very hit or miss, but like just like Nate Solder's terrible. When the offensive line wasn't there, Danny was able to make stuff happen, and he was able to get it done. He's not being careless with the ball when he's holding it. I think that was why he fumbled so much early on. He's turned into a man in front of our eyes, and I love it. I loved it. And then, just not having anybody, like having all of the injuries we had going into that, I didn't expect to win at all, and it was nice to just kind of like pull one out there.
No, especially, I mean, like I said, when was it in the first quarter when we were on like the 1 yard line and we turn it over on downs because we couldn't get it done. I was kind of annoyed, but like you said, I guess when you're 1-5,
we get the safety out of that. We got a safety out of that.
We did get a safety out of that.
And I mean, safeties, a lot of times you turn that around, right? I know the Texans got a safety early too, and it didn't work out for them that way, but I was stoked. Like the defense, they showed up. Like the defense was what we talked about all offseason. We were like, if the offense can work, like we got a solid defense. And the defense was garbage. And I mean, they gave out some plays here and there, and they didn't necessarily have to face the best player on the Panthers and Christian McCaffrey, who was out. But the defense stepped up and they made plays, and that's the defense. Like we pressured the quarterback. Leonard Williams was everywhere. I was very happy with what I saw, and if that can continue, like the Chiefs aren't exactly clicking on all cylinders right now. I know they were in the Super Bowl last year, but like we could fuck around and beat the Chiefs. I don't know. My brain is broken, and I am assuming that we have the ability to beat people now that we just won a game. Actually, before we move on, just because I'm in a very happy state right now, just remember to save this and play this back for me, because we know inevitably the Giants and West Ham are going to let us down. But just remember to hang on to this and play it back to future me when I'm not feeling great, or just when we lose, just play this back. So I like when I'm contemplating killing myself over my team, just be like, don't. Just be like, hey man, hey Alex, what's up? It's past Alex. Remember week 7 when Daniel Jones had that sick one-handed catch? Huh? That was cool. Remember when the Giants beat the Panthers and everything felt cool again? That was fun. Huh? Defense played. They showed up. We didn't hate Jason Garrett as much that week. That was cool. Joe Judge beat Matt Rule, who was also a candidate for the Giants job and who a lot of people wanted over Joe Judge. So that proves that Joe Judge won the hiring because he also beat Matt Rule on the field. Remember how fun all this stuff feels, dude? Just don't kill yourself over them, dude. They're not worth it. Remember how fun week 7 was? Just remember week 7. Remember week 7? That was so much fun. Just go back to week 7 in your head. Just play that back to me. That back to me next time. And sometimes you got to remember the good times to get through the bad. We've had a lot of bad, and it's like I'm sad that just a random week 7 win makes me this happy now, but this is what we've gotten to. I got to take the positives when I can.
It was nice to see the defense that we had at the end of 2020 finally turn up this season. And I've seen people talking about, it's just the Panthers, they're not there, blah, 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 blah. But I don't care how...
Not going to apologize for winning.
I mean, they're 3-3. Well, they were 3-3 going into the game. They're not the worst team in the NFL. And anytime, I don't care who you're playing, anytime that you can stop the other team scoring a single point for 3 quarters to end the game, that's a good defensive performance. I'm sorry, I'm not apologizing for that. I was very proud, very impressed with what we did defensively that game. And shout out to Z's.
Z's
2.5 sacks.
Dude, that guy is a monster. That guy's a monster. Solid draft pick. That guy is going to be a badass. Like Lawrence Taylor too? I don't know. I don't want to say it just yet, but like that guy's making plays. You love to see it.
I remember when we brought him in, and I was like, Aziz, sure, that guy. But he played well.
I liked it, man. He's shown nothing but promise like this entire season, and when he does stuff like that, you're like, this guy is gonna be a freak when he is like 100% developed in the NFL.
And another player who I thought stepped up. I mean, his stats wasn't like crazy good. He's not going to be like everyone's going to remember this performance. But I thought Devontae Booker, I thought he stepped up very well. He played very well this game,
especially on all the screen passes that Jason Garrett likes to call, where he had to do a lot. That's the thing with this Giants team, and it's like I understand that typically you would have a Sterling Shepard who's able to make some moves on his feet. You'd have Kadarius Toney. You could have Saquon, but just they do a lot of that, like throw him behind the line of scrimmage, and then like you've run 3 yards before you've even got caught up to that. And like I understand like that works sometimes, but when you're on backups, maybe you don't make like Devontae Booker shouldn't have to go and like you're having to juke out like 3 guys to get positive yardage or break stuff. And like the Giants can do that from time to time, and we've seen that on and off this season, but it's asking a lot of guys. And there's so many times where you see that just get tackled for a 4-yard loss because you were expecting some guy, like you were expecting a quarter to not pick up a receiver that's then going to have to juke out him and then the next corner that was trying to get him to get 5 yards. It's asking a lot of your skill guys who I think when we're healthy, have a lot of potential with that. But like Kadarius Toney, I'm not worried about that, but it's very predictable, and then teams start loading that box and they know exactly what to do. So I don't know.
Speaking of Kadarius Toney, when we did that play with Pettis throwing it to Daniel Jones, I bet Tony was like rubbing his hands together. Oh, I can't wait to get back. Now they're trying to play. Because I'm sure that was something they practiced with Tony. That was definitely supposed to be him. But
yeah. I mean, I don't know. Pettis, that was a pretty solid throw there, honestly. Those are risky every single time. It's just cool that now we've had 2 wide receivers throw passes. So you don't know what to think now when you have either of those guys out on the field.
And it was, I mean, I'm not saying it was good but it was a nice mashup of two of the most famous Giants catches. One-handed, boom, against the helmet. He got it. It was a beautiful catch.
Yeah, no, that was just like we already loved Danny anyways, but when he did that, you're like, all right, everybody's gonna love Danny now. And the memes were great from it. I loved that.
Did you make a meme? Did it get featured anywhere?
I made one too. Like the memes in general, as that happened, were just it was a very fun game to follow on Twitter, where it's usually everybody just hating everything and seeing like, haha, that's a funny meme. It's a very positive meme. It's a silly meme. Instead of just like, we're all sad and we're just making fun of the team collectively as an entire Giants Twitter.
Speaking of an injured player, yeah, Alex O joins us on YouTube. The Giants being injured is an understatement, and now Peppers is out. Yeah, Peppers is out for the rest of the season with, I think was it knee and ankle. I think he's.
And it was finally like his game he showed up for. Like dude
it's
played
a shame because
really
I
well.
think this is his last year of his contract. So it's
I don't know if he's coming back, man. I mean, depending on what happens with the GM and everything, it's like, are they going to cut costs? Are they going to try and do other stuff? It's very possible that he's not coming back.
Which is a shame. Because I mean,
I feel like he's going to get more money somewhere else. We already have McKinney. It was nice to be able to substitute the two of them in and out. Have them for nickel and dime coverages.
Plus, when he played well, it was just fun to say his name, Jabril Peppers.
Jabril Peppers. And I think if he doesn't play another down for the Giants, in his time with the Giants, we won the trade. We won the Odell trade. So we got a first-round pick, right? And then we got Jabril Peppers in exchange for Odell. So I would say Odell's done nothing for the Browns. He's had a couple cool catches, like a couple like 70, 80-yard like catch and runs, but he's been hurt most of his time there. And like Baker Mayfield, even when he's healthy, he's not finding him. He's a Jarvis Landry guy or a Peoples Jones guy or anybody else. Like Odell's just not his favorite receiver, and I don't know why. You would think that guy would be the best receiver. Like I thought he was Randy Moss good when he was on the Giants, and I really thought like the Browns were gonna dominate with him. And the fact that he hasn't done anything, I understand with the injuries and everything. But Jabril, he made some plays for us. And while our team was nowhere near as successful as the Browns were last year, Odell didn't have a ton of success with the team, and he was out last year when they were successful. And I think that Jabril and the Giants won that trade. Wouldn't you think?
I believe so.
It's pretty solid argument.
Plus, what has Baker Mayfield done other than those really cool commercials at home with
those
Baker
are great
Mayfield?
Commercials.
I do love those.
I want to hate Baker Mayfield, but like he does stuff like that. I'm like, okay, you're pretty likable. I feel like if I met him, he'd be a cool guy, but he's easy to like be like, fuck you, Baker, when you see him on TV.
Alex O chimed with the best NFL name, Ha Ha Clinton Dix.
Yeah.
I mean,
that is a great one.
Anything with Dix
in it.
Shout out to Julian Dix, West Ham legend.
Yep.
But yeah, it was a pretty solid win. I'm not going to take anything away from it.
Right. I mean, I don't think we're going to beat the Chiefs, but like my brain now is kind of like it's that cycle I told you where I'm like, I don't know. Maybe after the Saints win, we can upset the Cowboys too. Who knows?
It's
like,
definitely one of those games now where, as before, I don't expect us to beat Kansas, but now it's gonna there's a chance we could.
What if we don't have to play Patrick Mahomes? I mean, hopefully he's okay in the long term, but what if he can't go?
I mean, it'd be
an extra day of rest. He's probably going to be good to go. But also, like, we're catching the Chiefs at a time where if they were going to get their shit together, like, we're the perfect bounce back team, and it's very possible we just get like boat raced and just destroyed. But also, maybe Kansas City hasn't got their shit together. And maybe we torch that defense, and Danny goes and throws like 400 yards, 500 yards, and maybe we get Shepard and Tony back, and then, maybe things go our way.
I mean, realistically, yes,
I don't expect anything, but also, what if?
I mean, they're a good team,
the point
but
I'm at.
Look at they're 3-4 this season, And two of the teams they beat are the Eagles and Washington.
Which I would say they're about as good as us.
Yeah.
So they probably are going to beat us. But
that wasn't where I was going with that point.
But Eagles or Washington on any given day. Oh, my bad.
But yeah, I think we've got a chance. I think we've got a chance. I'm not saying we are. I'm not going to predict we are, but I'm gonna go into Monday night optimistic, and I'm just gonna be ready to have my heart broken.
Dude, just believe it, Dan. I'm ready to get hurt again. I'm ready to get hurt again, dude.
Ready to get out there again.
Alex O brings up a good point on the chat. He says Mahomes isn't Mahomes this year. He's second in interceptions. Jones is going to go off on the Chiefs. I understand that, but also the Giants are a team that, like, actually we do play up to good teams typically, except for the Rams. Except for the Rams, a lot of times we have played up to good teams.
We are the West Ham of the NFL. The
West Ham of the NFL. Yeah, that's very true. I feel like maybe we think we can catch them while they're down, but it also feels like the Chiefs are going to get their shit together. Although I thought that was going to be this week too, and they didn't at all.
Are we going to get some players back next week?
Maybe Kadarius, maybe Shepard, not Saquon.
No, but how long's Golladay out for?
I don't think we're getting Golladay back either. He's still like week to week. Maybe Shepard though. But if we could get Shepard and Kadarius back, I mean, just shout out though Colin Johnson and Pettis and those guys for going out there and balling, man. Like they made plays, they made catches, they were showing up. It was the next man up mentality that you always joke about, like what the Patriots did, and that was what the Giants were doing. And it was pretty sick to see. And it was a frustrating game at times to watch, but like the second half, I was just like, the Giants we could be pulling away in this. Like we hung on to like a 2-score lead for a while because we just kept kicking field goals instead of trying to like go for it and like put the nail in the coffin. But I don't know. I was just happy we won, so I can't really complain that much. But there were definitely things we could improve on, and if we played a better team, we weren't going to get that win there. But I'll take any win we can get this season, and I just like being happy this week.
Plus, how nice was it to see that when who scored a touchdown and Sterling Shepard was on the sidelines, like losing his mind, super excited. Yeah. It was nice to see. It's nice to see a team together, team mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the West Ham of the NFL.
Exactly.
Anything else you want to bring up? I think we've pretty much wrapped that up.
Yeah, pretty much
nicely.
covered it. Yeah. Proud of our boys. Proud of my boys, and again, the apologies for the Daniel Jones haters. We will still be accepting them.
Put them in the comments. We'll accept them. And then we have West Ham United. Not one, 2 victories in the past 7 days, and we
good? Are we good?
We're pretty fucking good. Pretty fucking good.
It's a pretty good team.
Because we continued our 100% record in Europe without conceding a goal.
We're up by 6 points ahead of the second best team, which I think everybody else just has 3 because they've split their games.
Which pretty much means it won't be mathematically confirmed, but if we can beat
more win
Genk in Belgium next week, then we're pretty much secured to win the group and go through to the knockout stage.
Now, okay, I'm flying high because both of our teams won. Is it possible that we could win Europa League? Am I crazy for saying that, Mike?
No, you're not crazy. Yes, we could win it, but I'm not getting too excited until I see which teams get knocked out of the Champions League.
We're hoping it's all chalk in the Champions League, right? Like we hope all the favorites, like the top 2 that should win, do win. And we don't get like a Real Madrid falling to us, right?
But the way it's been going, let me pull up the stand. Who's in 3rd place? So is anyone big? So I mean, like in 3rd place right now, we have in Group D Inter Milan a 3rd, which wouldn't be fun. Barcelona a 3rd in Group E.
But they're bad this year.
But they are very bad this year. At the moment, yeah. I guess
still don't want to play Barcelona. Barcelona.
Or do we?
No.
That'd be pretty fun.
If we beat Barcelona on a down year, though, because we're going to talk shit about it. Like we beat
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Because Barcelona on a down year, but they're still Barcelona, so they still have credit. So if we can catch them while they're still a name brand, but on the downward spiral,
they're going to be back like next year, anyways. But,
like, could you imagine if West Ham won the Europa League, beating Barcelona on the way to doing that?
That'd be sick. So is Barcelona and Inter are really the only two we're worried about?
At the moment, I would say so.
Is like Leipzig? Are they in the bottom three? Or
Leipzig are like bottom of their group. They haven't won a game yet. So,
but if you're fourth, you don't get anything, right?
No, if you're fourth, you're done for the season. Third, you go into the Europa League.
All right.
So, at the moment,
we're sitting pretty.
We're sitting pretty. But yeah, I mean,
catbird seat is what they call it, I believe.
Unless
Tinky Boo.
People always say, yeah, well, what if players get injured? But then that could be any team. Any team can have injuries. So I'm not going to worry too much on that. I'm just hoping, I mean, not to keep beating the dead horse, but hopefully we get a semi-decent backup striker in January, which would be nice. But yeah.
But you would think like this would, not that our owners think that way, because I know that they can be penny pinchers. Or pound pinchers. I don't know what they call. What do they call penny pinchers in England? Pound pinchers.
Well, a penny in England is a penny in the US. So yeah, penny pinchers.
Oh, what do y'all have Abe Lincoln on y'all's?
I know. I think he recently got removed.
Was he on it?
No, it's the Queen on everything. Like, the Queen's on every coin.
That'd be funny if like Abe Lincoln made it over there. It's like, dude. Everybody just liked that guy. He was just a likable dude.
Yeah, look at that hat swag.
Man.
We gotta put that on there.
I know that like our owners don't like to spend money all the time, but like this has to be like, hey, you're sitting really pretty in Europe. You're sitting really pretty in the Premier League table. Maybe invest in that. Like if you're gonna invest in a franchise now.
We have two good chances right now to qualify for Champions League next year. Because we need to go for it.
Exactly. And we've had times, I understand in the past, where it's like, am I going to spend all this money on a rebuild, or like it's easy to be like, yeah, we're not going to spend the money when we don't have a team, or like when we were barely failing to like avoid relegation, and they're like, this is going to be West Ham. We're just going to make our profit. We're going to make our nut and all that. But now it's like we're top 6. Like I'm gonna be very disappointed if we're not in the fight for top 6 at the end of the year. I don't know if we're gonna be able to go back to back top 6 finishes, but I think we definitely could. I mean, like that's what we're fighting for. I don't expect Champions League. I expect Europa again next year at least, or at least whatever the fucking the NIT tournament, the Tottenham tournament they're in. But like I don't want that
League.
one.
No.
Yeah, but
no, I think. Realistically,
at least Europa again.
If we're looking ahead realistically, I think our best bet to be in the Champions League is to win the Europa League. So I think we should go in all on that. Because I'd love to see us finish in the top 4, but who knows how that's going to break down. But then again, the top 4 shit in the bed, like Man United, shit in the bed.
What happened to them?
Solskjaer. I think Solskjaer is not very good.
He was the best. Everybody loved him like 3-4 weeks ago, and then it's just like he's out. Like what the fuck? I don't know. That team fell apart. Arsenal's good again, sort of.
Yeah, now they're equal on points with Man United, so that's kind of awkward with the Man United fans talking shit about Arsenal, and now they're like, right. "Oh, we're the same now." That's. So, if anything, I not to get too off of our team, but I'd actually, out of those two, I prefer to be Arsenal, because at least Arsenal are on the up, Man United are on the way down.
And on Arsenal, you were like, we didn't expect anything, so this is all just like a positive. Whereas Man U, it's like we expected to win the league this year. Like we were the darlings. It was us and Chelsea, and now it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Cristiano
Ronaldo now throwing his toys out of his pram. It's not looking good for them. So yeah, maybe we could sneak into top 4. But yeah,
you would think that like like I understand where with Arnautovic, it's like, are we gonna pay this guy or whatever, or like, are we gonna do this, or we didn't have a lot of a team around there. But now, like when you have a team, you need to keep building that team because you have like Newcastle's getting bought. They're gonna just Man City it. I'm pretty sure, right?
Wait, what?
Isn't Newcastle about to be bought? And like it's like some sheik that's just gonna like
they've been bought.
Oh, but like
so,
he's
yeah,
just gonna
they
Man City it.
Newcastle now have the richest owners in football.
So we're fucked going forward if we want to be like the lovable, like, oh, they're the cool team that's not the mainstream teams. Newcastle's going to be that, but then they're going to become City again.
People are going to start hating them.
We got to compete with. But I don't know. I think you definitely got to get some reinforcements. Not even necessarily starters, but just some depth guys that like we can throw in on games that we don't necessarily need to. Like I guess moving on, so we don't just keep talking about Europa or whatever. But we've got Man City in the Carabao Cup Wednesday, tomorrow as we're recording this. I guess I'm used to on Past the Gravy. I don't know when people are listening to it, so I feel like I have to timestamp the day. If you're watching us live, you know exactly what day it is, so I apologize. But yeah, we got Man City tomorrow in the Carabao Cup. Again, I don't give a fuck about this tournament. I've said the same thing about Man United. Like it was cool that we got the win. I liked who they like put. I liked who we put in there, and kind of we put the backups in, and our backups beat their backups, and as long as we go with it that way, like I'm rooting for our boys. But like,
I think we should definitely go that way again. We should definitely go with our Europa team for this game, and then just fuck it.
Maybe rest Rice. I don't know. I don't even give a shit. I don't want Rice to play. Rice has been playing a lot lately. I think maybe like either if you do, you get a sub. I think sub him out at half or something.
Yeah, I would start in the middle. I would give Suchek the day off as well because he's been playing every game.
Bowen, I feel like too. Bowen kind of is a guy that's going to have to do that.
And I think maybe that's why. I mean, we kind of switch it. But the Tottenham game, I forgot at some point that Bowen was even playing. I thought he had a very quiet game. Not a bad game, but I just didn't realize he was there. So maybe he needs the time to lay off a little bit. I would start. Like, if they're healthy, I don't know, because I haven't seen Kral on the bench lately. So I ideally start Noble and Kral in the middle.
Yeah, I would imagine. I would imagine Noble definitely gets a start.
Yeah, and then like Lanzini, we can bring him in, start a game. So yeah, I'd like to see us. But the main thing we need to before we look ahead, we need to look back. And last week we, as Alex O saying we're playing Man City tomorrow, and I'm keeping an eye out for the CTG and the LMNOP stats. Last week, if you missed it, we did create one of the most important statistics in professional football. Is the LMNOP.
Soccer.
Revolutionized it. And I'm sorry, if you look back, so for our Genk win, when we beat Genk 3-0, what was the LMNOP? West Ham 10.6, Genk 7.2. So obviously we dominated that game.
That's sabermetrics right there.
And then game on Sunday where we played Tottenham. I'm just going to pull them up for everyone to see so they can actually see them for themselves. Nuno, the Tottenham manager, said that apparently Tottenham were the best team. I'm sorry. Did you see that element? Look at that.
Did you check the LMNOP? Because
18.5 to 15.75.
That seems like it's more.
Obviously, the better team. So,
numbers don't lie. Those numbers don't lie. And obviously, this stat is 100% accurate. If you win the LMNOP, you're going to win the game, boys and girls. All right? That's the only real stat that matters.
And you heard it here first. Because you're going to eventually start seeing like Arlo White talking about it. You're going to see...
start tagging Arlo on this. On this stat,
new stat sheet.
LMNOP. And again, if you're new here, it's possession divided by corners is the LMNOP stat. And if you win the LMNOP, that shows that you are 100% of the time since we've been tracking that stat, you win the game. So it's a very telling stat.
It's a very telling stat, and it's how winning is done.
It is. It really is. You're welcome. soccer.
You're welcome.
Or
Do you want to go
football.
in depth about Genk? It seems like 5 years ago now.
Genk, we won. Yeah,
dominated the game.
3-0. It was awesome. Let's talk about Tottenham, because Tottenham, the name I wrote down that I really wanted to talk about was Ben motherfucking Johnson, dude. That guy has been an absolute treat. An absolute treat to watch. That guy has, from being just the Carabao guy that we throw out there to fill in a lineup, to having to kind of come in with injuries and stuff, and when we were short-staffed and short-manned, and to just being dominant on Sunday.
He's
That
taken
guy
himself.
He's skyrocketed, man.
He's definitely taken himself from, okay, you can play while Soufal's injured, you can play with the big boys, to now when Soufal gets fit, I don't know, do you instantly put him back in the team, or do you let Ben Johnson keep running the gauntlet? Because I think at the moment, I think Soufal is still the better guy, but Ben's in form. You can't. It'd be unfair to take him out.
There was he was a shadow, man. He was a shadow on anybody that was in his area. He was dominant on Sunday, and just like Harry Kane. Did you think about Harry Kane that entire game? I remember seeing him at a couple of corners, when they're
the one time I thought
Harry Kane's out there.
The one time I thought about Harry Kane was when he was marking Antonio and he just stood there and didn't do anything, and Antonio scored. That was funny.
But then, he was almost non-existent. So you're just like Harry Kane, Son. There were a couple of runs that Son had, but just is it Son's team now? Is Tottenham Son's team?
I think Tottenham needs to get rid of Kane as quickly as possible.
I know,
because otherwise they're gonna lose a lot of money on that.
The holdout kind of happened earlier in the year. I get that. I remember he sat out that one game, but it's like Son is the better player at this point, right?
Oh yeah. Harry Kane does not want to be there, and you can tell whether it's like he's actually doing it or whether it's psychologically and subconsciously, blah blah blah. But you could just tell he couldn't give two shits about playing for Tottenham right now, and I think
Tottenham
they fucked up.
They were slow. They were sleepwalking. It felt like. I mean, I don't know. The first half was kind of. It was a very entertaining game. It was a very entertaining, boring game. If that's that's not a thing, but I feel like that's the way I would describe the majority of this game, where it was in the middle of the field a lot. When it was kind of on the sides. There were some corners that gave chances to either team. And either team had a couple of shots there. I don't know. Let me pull up the totals on shots and everything. But what do we have? I guess
Tottenham had 7 shots in total, 4 on target, none in the second half.
Right?
So
right, and then the second half,
possession-wise, they dominated, but they had nothing. They gave nothing.
And we didn't really get a lot going until kind of when we did get that goal. It was just, again, kind of in the middle of the field or just on the sides, and then a couple of corners.
It was a chess match, as they say. It was a chess match of a game.
But just we broke right through at the right time, and it was I'm understanding more and more as a fairly new fan to the sport, why they call it the beautiful game, because you're oh, it worked that time. You could see what they were trying to do. You could see how they were trying to move it along, and just watching it develop, and then it didn't work, and then they tried to kind of redo it, and then it developed and it didn't work, and then they did it one more time, and Antonio was able to put it in. That was awesome. And I don't know. I definitely thought, I felt and our buddy Gen Z Zach, that is a Tottenham fan, he was texting me back and forth, and I was honestly, this feels like a game West Ham's going to blow Brentford. This felt like the ending of the Brentford game, and I felt like Tottenham had they were going to get us back.
Yeah. I was waiting for a 92nd minute goal.
And also, that was before the Giants too, so I was just expecting sad Alex all day. I was just this isn't going to go well. Both my teams are going to lose. I'm just going to be miserable. And luckily, it did not go that way at all. But when Antonio scored, I was okay, whatever. And then there was just something that turned on with the team that it was just they're not giving up a goal. They're not going to give up another goal. And Tottenham had a couple of opportunities. They couldn't get the shots off, but just our defense was nails. And we usually have a couple of like brain farts or just a couple of times where they beat us just cleanly, and just none of that happened. There was not a penalty in the first half. I can't remember who they were trying to give a penalty to. That was it, Indubable or whatever his name was.
He stepped on the fucking ball. He fell over the ball.
He fell over the ball, and then what was it? Johnson, I think. Whoever it was that they were trying to get the penalty on.
Was it Zuma?
Maybe it was Zuma. It might have been Zuma. But he was ball first. Like, he touched the ball first, and it was like, how is that at all? He was like, there's no way that's not a penalty. I was like, are you watching the same replay I'm watching? Because it goes our guy's foot, ball, other guy steps on the ball. Don't know.
No, I'm not mad. I'm not mad he fell over, because I've stepped on a ball before. That shit will fuck you up. That will make you.
But then you're like, oh, it's a penalty. It's like, I mean, I guess in the moment when you don't really see it, when we were watching replays, it's like, you can't be watching the replays then, dude.
Speaking of brick wall, I didn't even know. I saw a stat today. Since Kurt Zuma has played first team football West Ham, not one single person apparently has taken the ball past him. That's an incredible stat.
That's a great stat.
So if anyone tries to take it around him, he fucks them up and stops them. That's awesome.
Just this is what I love about this team is like, we bring in these guys that, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know a ton about Kurt Zuma when he came over. I saw, like, when I looked up stuff about it, I was like, yeah, he looks pretty solid. But just like, we're bringing in the right pieces that are then performing exactly the way that Moyes wanted them to perform. Like, he gets exactly what he needs out of Antonio, who he's moved around. He's getting exactly what he needs out of Souček. He's getting exactly, like, he knew exactly what these guys were capable of doing. Like, it's amazing how the puzzle pieces of this team have kind of worked together. It's a lot. And like, that's why you can tell how like they're all like buddy with everything. Like, even Jesse Lingard last week was talking about his time at West Ham during the transfer or is it transfer? Not transfer. Loan during the loan. And he was saying like, we would like, you know, a lot of teams like I've been on, there's guys that, you know, you're hanging out, everybody, like people are looking at their phone. He's like, we would be down in the training area, just, you know, like hanging out and just chatting up about the games and about strategies and about other stuff. And it was like, they're boys. Like, that's what you want to see. And like, obviously you want them to also be very good at what they do. And they are, but combined with like also like gelling and seeming like they're not like fighting with one another in the locker room. Because, you know, like when we had Antonio or Arnautovic, not Antonio, or when Arnautovic was there, you could tell that he was just like a cancer in the locker room. Like, people didn't want to be around him. You could see like the body language of guys on the bench when they got the yellow thing on and the bibs, they're all zipped up. Yeah, like you could just kind of tell. And like now when you look over, like they're all laughing. They're like they're locked into the game, but like you'll see them like joking around and got like Lanzini's cutting up, and you can see that they're enjoying being around one another. And
when we score, you can see all the subs, all the people on the bench jump up and they want to celebrate together. But it's
like healthy competition, not like somebody stealing. There's nobody stealing people's jobs. I know in Man United you get a lot of shit like that.
Well, that's what I was saying about Man United. The problem with Man United is because they've gone recently the other way, where we've brought in, hey, it doesn't matter if they're a big name or whatever, they're the right fit for our team. Whereas I think Man United recently have just gone for the shiny toys. Oh, he's a big name, he's a big player, get him. And it's just obviously not gelling.
They're like you or I playing FIFA, where it's like, oh, I want Cristiano Ronaldo, okay. Bruno Fernandes, bring him in. Like, you just that's just what you do, because it's like, I know that name.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's not
when they brought Souček, like, I didn't know who the fuck Tomas Souček was. I was like, all right, like,
Sufal, no idea.
He's on our team, so let's go that guy. And you learned it. Like, when I became a West Ham fan, I knew about Chicharito, but that was only because, like, being in Texas, and I went to an MLS All-Star game, and it was when he just got signed with Man United, and everybody was losing their mind. And I was like, oh, he's on West Ham? No, that's cool. I didn't know a lot, but like, it's cool, like, learning about all of these guys, and West Ham is like, they're not all big name guys, but they get the job done.
Well, pretty much you name it. Like, even like when he signed for us, Mikel Antonio, no fucking idea. Jared Bowen, no idea. Like,
absolutely,
but they're bringing in the right players, and it's working. It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
I was shouting out Ben Johnson again. Fabianski, well done, buddy. I know I apologize. I feel bad that we doubted him, and I think we doubted him too soon. We were just like, we saw Areola being awesome at what he was doing, in Europa, and it was lesser competition. I'll give him that. But Fabianski just had a couple of like kind of cheap goals that he gave up in consecutive weeks, and I just was like, is he losing it? What's going on? And finally having some competition at keeper made me just, I realized he's our guy. That's why Fabianski starts the Premier League.
He shut the door.
He knows what he's doing.
He shut the door on his international career, so now he's all fully focused on West Ham. Yeah, he had a good game. Clean sheet, which is always nice.
Well, there were two corners that I thought were like Tottenham. I don't know. I don't really know how to like read corners. Corners kind of just seem like a clusterfuck no matter what. But there were two times that there were Tottenham corners where I thought Fabianski just like made the right decision at the right moment when he jumped up to go get it. And like I was like, you stopped the goal right there. It looked like, I think Son on one of them was there, and then was it Mbele or whatever. I felt like those were like headers that were going right in the net, or there was a guy that was right there, and Fabianski just timed everything perfectly. Sometimes like when you fuck up if you're a keeper, it's very obvious and you look like an idiot. And he was able to like with the gambles he took paid off, and so he looked like a badass.
Yeah, and one of my biggest criticisms of Fabianski this season has been where I feel that he's been too reliant on punching the ball out. Whereas I think this game, he was just very much, no, I'm going to get the ball, and he grabs the ball, holds it. I think that's...
Went down with it, yeah, made sure everybody cleared out.
So that was nice. And
is it like the most awkward part of soccer to me is when the keeper has the ball and like there's not like it's not a goal kick or anything, and he's like it's that awkward like, all right, is he gonna bounce it? Is he gonna put it down there and he's gonna kick it around, and then he's gonna kick it to somebody who's gonna kick it back to him, and then he's gonna do the punt kick, and then there's a defender always that's kind of dangling around like it's like I remember in the Champions League final a couple of years back, Real Madrid did that, I think, to Liverpool. And was it Lloris when he just like kicked the ball out and somebody just they punted it right into the net that way.
Yes.
But like very rarely do you see stuff like that. What's his face again? On Leicester this year against us, we got an easy goal against. Yeah, Schmeichel did that against us, and we just kind of juked him out. And I was like, "What are you doing out there?" Like very rarely does that happen, but it's always just like the defender's like dangling around like. Trying to like fake juke him out, and the keeper then just picks up the ball and then punts it. And it's like that's like the most awkward phase of 10 to 15 seconds every time I watch it. There's not like, are you gonna punt it? Are you gonna? What are you gonna? Maybe you're gonna throw it? I don't know.
Talk to me. What are you doing?
I feel awkward watching it. You tell me what you're doing so I can turn around or this.
Good stuff. Right, this week. So, are we going to bother predicting the Man City game?
I don't give a shit about that game.
No one gives a shit, and also
which means we'll probably win because we've just been so good lately.
And we have no idea who Man City are going to play, but they're going to be good because their third best team is like amazing. Yeah. But then we've got Villa next Sunday. I think Sunday.
Where is Villa in the table? I don't know shit about them except that I like them a little bit more.
Down towards the bottom, I think.
Well, I do like them a little bit more because of
Jack Grealish is no longer there.
Not having Jack Grealish, so that's cool. I don't really care about Cup.
I think they're like 14th, maybe.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Okay, cool. Yeah, they are 13th. Not bad at all, Mike. 3, 1, and 5. Shit, that's not very good at all.
It's gotta be a dub, right? It's gotta be a dub for West Ham.
I hope so, dude. I mean, it looks like they started out okay, and they kind of faded since then. So yeah, hopefully they lost to Wolves, and Wolves isn't very good.
Because I mean, realistically, we're gonna rest a lot of our first team players against City, hopefully tomorrow, and then we can go all in against Villa, and then. Second team against Genk because it's not a super important game, and then realistically, Liverpool's not going to be a fun game to watch.
I don't know. So, dude. What if we can fuck around and beat Liverpool? We play up to those competitions, dude. I mean, we're probably going to lose. We'll probably lose that one.
Oh, I think we're going to play way better than Man United did. I don't think we're going to lose 5-0.
West Ham's frisky this year, dude.
I think we're definitely going to put up a fight. But what I'm saying is, I think if out of those 2 games, the next 2 Premier League games, I would definitely focus on getting 3 points from Villa than the Liverpool game.
You can't, like, this is another one of those where we can't drop points, and it feels like a West Ham kind of game where we may try and drop points by fucking around until the very end. They have been doing that a lot. I know it's been against Everton and Tottenham, but, like, let's kind of turn it on in, like, the 70th minute. Like, let's do that the whole game, guys.
But then, typically, as West Ham are, that's one of those games that we're going to win, like 2-1 or something against Liverpool. So, we'll see.
I don't know. I feel really good about this team, dude. I mean, I know with the Giants, it's kind of like, well, maybe we can upset somebody. With West Ham, it's like I'm feeling very good about West Ham going forward.
Yeah, there's not like I'm not saying I'm 100% confident we can win every game, but we definitely have a chance going into every game.
Fuck around and do it though.
Yeah. Whereas the Giants, they're just like, I'll say I think we have a chance, but realistically, we haven't got a chance.
Yeah, you got a prayer with the Giants. But West Ham is what I like to call fuck around good. Like, they can fuck around and win this game. Every game. They can fuck around and win this. They'll probably lose, but they can fuck around and beat Liverpool. I don't know. So, yeah, I'm going to say we beat Villa. I'm going to say I don't know. We're probably going to lose to Man City, but I don't really care. Carabao Cup. Who cares?
We'll lose like 3-1 or something, probably. I don't know.
And then if we win, we'll play like Liverpool or whoever else. Like, I feel like they're just giving us the toughest draw we can get now.
And I mean, realistically, what the Carabao Cup? You win that, you go into the Europa League, whatever. We're already in the Europa League, and we're gonna win that and go into Champions League. So we didn't need.
I would like to get back in the Europa League, though. That would be nice to just wrap that up. But the Carabao doesn't wrap up until the end. Like, isn't the Carabao the one where they do it and they take a huge gap until like?
No. The Carabao Cup finals in like February or something.
Okay.
It's the first silverware that they give out.
Well, then maybe we do fuck around in the Carabao Cup. I don't know. It's obviously like the lesser of the cups of importance to us.
But I mean, I'm not going to turn down a trophy. I want to see West Ham.
Big fan of trophies.
Let's get that silverware, baby.
I mean, besides, we've won a couple. We've won the Betway Trophy a couple of times, but
multiple-time Betway champion.
Multiple-time Betway champs. But like another one.
I mean, Liverpool haven't won a Betway Cup, so
that's facts.
So yeah, that's good stuff. Right, let's look ahead. Other things that are happening. So tomorrow, so awkward. You're recording Past the Gravy tomorrow. What time are you recording your Past the Gravy? Are you gonna be watching the West Ham game while you're recording Past the Gravy tomorrow?
West Ham, they start at 2? 3 year time.
2:45 my time, so about 1:45 your time.
Yeah, I'll have the first half on. I'll probably watch that, and then we'll start recording around 3 our time in Central Time. So I'll probably watch it on the iPad, like as we're recording. You may get to hear me reacting to some West Ham.
Yeah, if we win, you'll hear it on the Past Gravy podcast.
Right.
But is there anything else? Is there anything major that you're talking about this week on Past Gravy that people can look forward to?
We're going to talk about Halloween, some Halloween-related stuff. Our buddy Lil Nas X is back in the news. He trolled rapper Boozy and got some hate there, but he was just trolling, and obviously the guy fell right into his trap. Lil Nas X is the internet, so we'll talk about that. We'll talk about Alec Baldwin a little bit, and then
pew pew pew.
That is what we say on the beginning of the podcast, not in reference to Alec Baldwin.
No.
I feel like Pat is going to talk Dave Chappelle because he just watched that special. So we'll probably mention that a little bit. And then we got our football picks. We'll tell you what's not cool this week. And we will answer some questions. At Pass Ray Pod, check it out.
And then new episode of Waffle Box coming out tomorrow, where I will be definitely talking about Dave Chappelle. Not even just the Dave Chappelle special, but obviously the controversy that's come out of that. And then also we're talking about the movie. So how do you put? Is it June or Dune? That one that's on HBO with Timothée Chalamet.
Did you just say June?
June? Is it?
No,
it's June.
Dune.
Dune.
Oh, June. You're saying it British like Dune.
Yeah, Sand Dune.
Oh, Ticky Bobby, or what was the first word you said?
Tickety boo.
Tickety boo. Oh, tickety boo. It's Dune. Let's go see Dune, lads.
But yeah, so we're talking about
At the cinema.
Dune, which, spoiler, is the best movie or the worst movie I've ever seen.
That's good to hear.
Alex O, to end the show, hopefully Robert wishes me a late birthday tomorrow. Well, Robert,
See what we can do.
Bobby jokes, he still owes that video, right?
He
Of
does.
him singing
but
happy birthday.
He wasn't on the podcast last week because of the day that we recorded it. So we could just make him sing it tomorrow on the podcast. So Alex O, tune in then, and we will get him to sing it for you.
I would love to
Or figure something out. Yeah.
Robert doing that.
We need to do that as like a charity
breathy,
thing. Like
the breathy shit, like Marilyn Monroe. Happy birthday.
We should get Robert on like a cameo, but it's only for birthdays. Like he has to sing. He's like a singing telegram, like they would do in high school for like Valentine's Day. But it's just like Robert has to sing like one of 3 songs to you.
Or this is where you could do maybe like a PCG OnlyFans, where just each day, you know, like how you go into those gift shops and they have like the keychains and they just have every name under the sun except for yours.
Right.
It's always like,
right.
So maybe each day he could just sing a song to a different person, starting from A to B to B, and then eventually
bank them.
Eventually they'll be like, "Oh, that's for me."
That's perfect. I really like that idea.
So just mass produce the cameos ahead of time.
It's a great idea. I'm gonna do that, or make Robert do that.
Enjoy hearing that about in the pre-com section.
Right. Yeah, you'll love it.
All right, perfect. So yes, check those out. Thanks for joining us live. If you join us live, thanks for watching us on demand. If you're watching us on demand, don't forget to check out our other podcast, Past the Gravy Pod, on Twitter and all that good stuff. At Wafflebox Pod on Twitter and all that good shit too. But until next week.
Damn, Daniel.
We'll see you next Tuesday.